Ladies and gentlemen, from the microphone theater here in downtown Los Angeles. Shawn Porter Promotions.
Keep it organic.
Yeah. No, it's not coffee.
Hey, is that chocolate milk or coffee?
It's neither.
Is it Yoo-hoo?
Keep
Technically
This
chocolate
guy.
water.
let it run right through me. I'm lactose.
There's no milk in it.
This dude's so weak. What you say? You picked up a cheeseburger and was driving that?
No, I picked up. I got extra cheese on my cheeseburger just to be wild one time. Then caught a plane. It almost took down the whole plane.
You got the Native American in you.
What?
Got some,
I've never.
some Cherokee.
Is that what took out the Native Americans?
Just
Milk?
Oh,
I'm not a history expert, but I heard.
All right, shout out to Cleveland.
You're good with Yoo-hoo
no.
though. There's no
Guardians now.
yeah.
Guardians.
There's no milk in Yoo-hoo.
Does it taste like milk?
No. Tastes like
Well, why the
chocolate
hell would
water.
I want that? Why would I want that?
It tastes like
Chocolate and water.
Tastes like
Yeah,
chocolate.
you never knew that?
Never knew that till just right
You
now.
can tell just right now. I
I'm
was
pretty sure Yoo-hoo, shout out to Yoo-hoo, is described as a chocolate drink because it is not milk.
See,
So they
this is
specifically-
why that's why white people don't put seasoning on their food.
Because
of Yoo-hoo?
Yeah, Yoo-hoo. She drinks shit.
You're
like
really
that.
tying stuff together.
Yeah, I know. I'm putting it together.
I will confirm that y'all struggle with the seasoning, but I'll also confirm that we have Parkinson's with our seasoning.
Is seasoning count as like marinara sauce and all that?
Oh, he's Italian.
Okay, yeah, we put
What do you call a pizza in Italian?
pizza.
Yo.
Here we go. You're good. You're good. It's like in Godfather 2 when Fredo's like, "How do you say banana daiquiri in Spanish?" and Michael's like, "Banana daiquiri."
Hey, listen, you the one said you talking all this food, but you said you wasn't in the mood for no breakfast this morning.
Right.
And when I read the message, I said, "Dang, is he that hurt about Manny?"
No, I was trying to get back to my leftovers from last night.
and also ate breakfast to be clear.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm hurt about Manny.
A lot of leftovers.
I didn't expect that.
Are you?
Yeah.
I didn't expect it either. I really wouldn't.
I don't
say
think nobody did.
I'm hurt anymore, but yeah, like in the moment, like rounds 9, 10, I was like, wow, this is about to happen.
It's more once the loss settled in, he shows up to the post fight and gets a little emotional. And what could have been his last post fight press conference. It was you get professional covering these guys, made the best man win. But when you start to take it in, how special Manny Pacquiao is and what he's done for boxing and the void that'll be left if he's gone.
Well, let's rewind and kind of start at the beginning, then we'll finish with Manny and then move forward beyond that. But first of all, welcome to the Welterweight podcast. I'm not even going to introduce anybody. Y'all know who everyone is. But I will say, if you missed yesterday, I don't think people even knew. You want me to? Okay, so this ant right here, aka Bunky, right here.
I knew I should have never told you where I'm from.
It is what it is.
Hey, shout out to Bunky.
I don't think people knew that there were 2 cars yesterday. Did y'all know that there were 2 cars yesterday?
Cards,
yeah. There was the afternoon card.
Oh
and the
yeah.
evening card.
No, I didn't know until too late.
I was aware, but
That's
didn't
my fault.
Care, I guess.
Yeah. However, you got Frank Martin on the card.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Solid 126, 135.
Yep.
And I just, in case anybody missed it, because I feel like Frank Martin now 14-0. I think he's flown under the radar for a lot of boxing fans for the 135-pound division. And I think that in another fight or two, he will be a serious contender at 135.
Is that Errol's guy?
And I didn't know that Derek James was working with him.
I thought I saw Errol post something after the win.
Yeah.
And those fights, to be fair, that undercard, that is where fighters have to fight. You can't just automatically headline fights. So it's a progress.
Yeah, Rayo Valenzuela has some buzz as a prospect. He got a knockout on the undercard too. So
I really wasn't impressed with the card overall, but I was impressed. I've seen Frank Martin in the past, but last night for me was like, all right, this kid is a threat. He's not just a good fighter, but he's a threat to the 135-pound division. So I just really wanted to, before we got into the main card of pay-per-view, I just wanted to shout that out right quick. And he calls himself the Ghost. So
Robert Guerrero.
Throughout the show, you can see he's a southpaw. He's solid, good boxing style. He's an aggressive boxer, but he can also move going backwards as well, which a lot of fighters have a hard time with. Very professional in the ring, man. Quickness, speed, agility, everything is there. But the thing that really got me last night, he's in the ring with a guy who's 30-5, and this guy looked like a really big 135-pounder. I mean, the dude had to be at least 150, but I felt like he was more than that last night. But the way that Frank handled him and handled the fight and everything, I was really impressed with that. So I really wanted to start the show off by shouting out Frank the Ghost Martin and letting everybody know out there that if you're looking at Tio Lopez, if you're looking at Devin Haney, you're looking at if you're still looking at Tank Davis at 135, you're looking at Rolly at 135. Look at Frank Martin at 135 because he is going to be a threat very soon.
He's like I got to see him last year for us help Gervonta Davis get ready in preparation for Leo Santa Cruz, and he immediately jumped out to me because the sparring between him and Gervonta was so good and so competitive. Well, it was competitive. He held his own, and immediately I said what you said, and I said this guy's a dark horse. You know, he's a dark horse. Like, you know, when you get close to the playoffs, the NFL, and you got the top 3 seeds, that would be T.O. and Devin and maybe Ryan and Lomachenko and them. But this is the dark horse. This is the guy who could knock out the number 1 seed in the first or second round. Yeah, he's got talent, and he's got some pop.
He's solid. And then I didn't know that he was with Derrick James and Errol Spence Jr. Gives me confidence that he's going to get even better than he already is. Yeah. He's a Midwest guy, Detroit, Indianapolis. Now, I guess, doing some work down there in Dallas. So, I mean, I think that the dude has done everything that he needs to do. And then, like you said, when you fighting like in the afternoon, nobody's in the stands, you kind of paying your dues. And we always say the hard road travel could be the best road travel, you know what I mean? So he doesn't have the glitz and the glamour that everyone else at 135 has right now, but he will certainly be a threat in another fight or two.
Ugas was in this position not too long ago and fought Ray Robinson just 2.5 years ago on an afternoon opening card, and turned out pretty good for him as a dark horse.
You keep using that term dark horse, and I'm like, I've never heard that before. I like it, but something kind of racial about it.
Nothing racial.
I got that from Chris Berman.
The dude is dark.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
He's like, the Buffalo Bills are a dark horse in the AFC. You know?
He gonna use it on the next pay-per-view.
I might.
How much? Let me just ask. How much of these Keith notes? Because you mentioned jotting down some Keith.
Oh no. We didn't really start talking to the pay-per-view.
Okay, fair enough. I was just wondering.
You
mentioned on the broadcast that you were.
We were just kind of watching the fights, but then when the pay-per-view came on was kind of when we really started to get into the fights until the co-main event. But prior to that, we were really going back and forth about the fights and having some
He's
fun
really
up
good
there.
on there. Keith is.
Heck yeah.
You are too. I mean.
Thank you.
I'm not a
Hey,
fan of
listen,
Keith.
he started doing his thing, and I was like, "Go ahead, Keith. I'm
Keith-
back up
Keith-
even more."
I think he's really good especially for the limited times that he's done it. I think he's really good. But a lot of action.
Just speak to Keith real quick. I talked to him about that to see how he was feeling. He said, "Yeah." He's like, "I really like it."
Yeah.
He's, "I like being ringside, calling the commentary for the fights." He said, "But I just like talking boxing. It's natural and it's fun." He said, "I didn't really like it until people started telling me that I was good." He said, hearing other people like confirm that I was good was what made me like it even more.
Yeah.
So no surprise. There was a surprise because what I learned is when you do the rehearsals, you try to kind of hold back a little bit. Yeah. And this dude held everything back.
Oh, that's funny.
And so everything that y'all saw last night from Keith was organic. It was real. It was on point. I'm looking at this dude like, you are killing it. You know what I mean? So for me to have that time with him was cool. That was
the expectations low in the rehearsal.
No.
I like it. I'm saying Keith. You keep you hold it back.
Oh, yeah.
He's okay. And then oh man, this guy's really good. But opening fight, Castro, Escandon. Was that the first fight on the pay-per-view?
Yeah, of the pay-per-view. I was.
That's where the notes from Keith came from.
Did you write them in a different color? The ones.
Don't worry about my color preferences.
That was an action fight.
Hey, we do got iPad money. Just I got an iPad. I got iPads.
I got to write it down.
Okay, I got iPads at my house.
I wrote it down, so I don't even have to look at it.
You want an iPad? I got an iPad. No, y'all can't have an iPad. I always get something.
No, that fight was good though. Castro Escandon, action. The whole card. If anything, there was action. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's one fight that we'll get to, but Yeah, it was no. I thought it was good. I wasn't sure at a couple of points how it was gonna go
Yeah, it was back and forth.
because there was like, I was like, oh, okay, no, Castro's clearly gonna do it, and I was like, maybe he's not.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not gonna do it, but he ends up getting it done.
Y'all know me. I'm rooting for 5-1. Like, you know, so and he was landing this big hook, and like you said, I didn't know which way it was gonna go, but you could tell that even though the shorter man was strong and then Castro's face and really giving Castro trouble, Castro was able to keep himself together mentally and always seemed to manage to find some room and have some success during the rounds. And then at the end, like it was like this. I didn't see that coming. And that I had to see the replay because I was like, where did that punch land?
So the funniest part about the ending is, so I think it should have been stopped. I know Ant felt differently at the time, but no, I just was like, he probably jumped in.
It technically
Ant
should have
was
been
like,
stopped.
But then the funny part is, so he gets dropped.
Yeah.
He gets up and he's counting.
Yeah.
And then takes a knee.
Yeah.
Oh, it starts over. If you take a knee, you get another 8 seconds.
That's what we were laughing. We were like, does he think like he's like, oh no, I just got knocked down again. But yeah, he's like getting to like 8, 9, and then he takes a knee, and I was like, and then he stood up and was like, what? You waved it off? I was like, yeah.
He's trying to get 8 seconds.
So it's a standing 8 count, which is where he messed up. If anything, he could have taken a knee at 5, and then the count goes to 10. If you're down on the canvas, the count goes to 10, and then it's over.
Yeah.
If you get up at 9, you can continue. He didn't realize that, hey, the count's at 8. You can't now take a knee because the game is over after that. And he goes, because Keith and I were talking, I'm like, yo, he got up too fast. He should go down on the knee.
Yeah.
And then he actually goes down on the knee at 8. And I'm like, you can't do that.
It was like, it reminded me of when you're returning a kick and you want to get a touchback and you accidentally the one and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
But,
I was thinking the same thing. It reminds me of like when you see in basketball, you see like the dude, it's like, yo, was that a carry? It's like nobody is really sure, but the refs, they always know.
Hey, he would have got me as a ref. I'd have been like, 7, 8, 1, 2. Like he could have
count. And would have been like, hold up, what you doing?
he remixed it completely.
Yeah, you don't really talk to the fighters like that, but Ant would have been like, hold on, what you doing?
Oh yeah, I get out of character real quick.
But then the next one was, as far as action-wise, maybe the fight of the night.
Yeah, it was
Magsayo and
I don't know about that.
the main event was the fight of the night.
I got a co-main that got something to say about that.
I was impressed with Magsayo. I think when he lets his hands go, he's really exciting.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it a ton.
Yeah.
And Ceja was, I mean, obviously gets dropped early, but then I had Ceja winning. I think Brian Kenny mentioned he was winning on all 3 cards.
He was hurting him to the body.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know, Magsayo. I hope you woke up today or feeling
Definitely pissing blood.
Oh my gosh, those body shots. I thought he was literally just gonna break him in half at some point.
Yeah.
He's gonna end up like Darth Maul getting cut in half.
Something about those Filipino fighters, the way they throw their punches. He does have some of that explosiveness that they're known for. You know, and he might have to.
And when he's on his feet, I mentioned it to Ant yesterday. When he's like kind of on his toes, he throws these combinations. I'm like, he really looks good, but then he would kind of be a lull.
Yeah.
And any lull there was, Ceja was coming forward, body shot, just rocking him to the body. But
and he wanted to go down. But his body wouldn't let him.
He wanted to go down, right? Because he did go down one.
Yeah, but he wanted to go down more than that.
Yeah. That just did not look pleasant.
He proved he's a warrior with that way he responded.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're going to get a more focused body attack than what you saw yesterday.
And he couldn't have had a better platform with a better, like, to capture his fan base. You know, everybody was there for Pacquiao and the place was sold out.
Absolutely.
Bam, he gets a knockout to send them home happy. For a lot of those fans who probably were disappointed that Pacquiao couldn't win, the saving grace of the night was what he did. So,
And you talk about a knockout.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
my goodness.
What's the guy named Ceja?
Ceja
Better hope Keith Thurman he don't move to 147.
He won't.
Keith better hope Ceja don't move to 147.
He's a body shot guy.
No, Keith was all on his team last night, and
I'm just talking about Keith was gonna stop from a body shot.
Yeah, I know. I hear what you're saying. But I'm just Keith was like, listen, this Magsayo guy has never been 12 rounds.
Right.
Ceja's been there. He's been in the ring with the elite. He's gonna break this kid down, and I'm like, yo, I can't argue with that. Like, you're exactly right. Oh, Keith's like, he looked over at me after like 4 rounds. He said,
"Hey, why don't we get Keith on today?"
Because he's on the plane right now. I couldn't hold him back from his family and his kids.
I
Is
understand.
what it
Don't
is.
some of those planes have Wi-Fi now? The big
I
boy
was thinking
planes,
that.
the VIPs.
That would
We
be
don't know what plane he on. Don't put his business.
He's on the
out
big
there.
boy plane. I know.
that would be an
Yeah.
elite special guest appearance if somebody's on a plane.
Oh,
Whenever
100%.
if that ever happens, that's impressive. But
He,
we'll
hey,
see.
listen. He leaned over to me. He said, "Yo, what you think gonna happen?" I said, "What you think gonna happen?" I just threw it right back at him. He said he's gonna break him down. I said, "Yeah, I see the same thing happening." So
That Ceja was breaking.
say I was
mindset.
breaking down Marcel, and you could see like round after round, we would keep looking like, yeah, it's happening, and then like in the instance, we were like, yeah, there it is. And the other adjustment that Ceja made that we'll get to Manny, that Manny never made, Ceja got clipped with a left hook in the first round, and you see if you watch that fight back, he gets onto the left hook every single time. He found the time, he saw the timing, and he knew that was going to be Marcel's punch, and he kept getting under it, and that was what helped him through the fight in terms of defensively, what helped him survive until the end of the fight.
And come to think of it, in the knockout shot, he's pulling back from the left hook,
the left
making
hook.
him miss it, and then unfortunately
Yeah.
the right hand follows.
Yeah.
His props to Magsayo.
Because
yeah,
the adjustment that Magsayo made was he kept taking his foot off of the gas pedal. Like you said, when he lets his hands go, he's excited.
Yeah.
And I think right there was a moment where Ceja had got used to the rhythm of a couple punches here and then, we'll get back to
Little
it.
spurt.
Yeah, and boom.
Nasty.
Nasty.
knockout.
he
Hit him on the way down too. Not illegally, of course, but unfortunate because he was out with the first one.
Yeah, he was out.
And then he
Yeah.
said DJ Khaled, another one.
Hey, all the girls in the room was scared.
I hope Ceja is doing well because he was down bad for at least a few minutes there.
he's been in a couple wars
And then
in a
kind
row.
of Undertaker'd up and then went back down.
No, that was a
But,
scary knockout for
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
He should, come back with an easier touch instead of
Yeah.
fighting a Rigo and a 22-0 kid.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
props to Ceja, man. Take an easy touch back home in Mexico.
And he is that was a WBC title eliminator.
Yes,
You know who has that belt?
Gary Russell.
Yeah.
But Gary's got.
He ain't got stripped yet?
No.
That's crazy. I don't care.
How hasn't he got stripped?
Yeah, I thought you was
he
mad.
has-
My
No,
bad.
no, 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 no.
I thought you were gonna be like, bro, don't say that.
Trust me, if
never thought about
somebody,
it.
if there's somebody that's mastered how to work in inactivity to their
Yeah,
advantage,
That's
Gary
it's
Russell.
like, what are you saying
I
to
feel
these
like
people?
they're like, hey, we're gonna strip you. He's like, I got a fight coming up. Matter of fact,
The WBC.
he's like, I just got a call. I got a fight coming up tomorrow. Actually,
They're like,
like,
oh.
how's he getting out of it? Like, seriously.
They're like, his hands are so fast though. We don't want to strip him.
When the last time he fought?
So
early last year, maybe March of last year. I'm telling you,
I
it's
guess.
right. It's right when it needs to be. He just knows right when he needs to avoid that. But
Yeah.
And Magsayo was just to finish on him.
Yeah.
He was so excited to have his first Mexico versus Philippines war mission accomplished.
absolutely,
And he would like to fight Russell. He said, but he really wants Oscar Valdez. So we'll see if
I'm
he
fine
can.
with that.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that matchup
yeah.
as
So
well.
yeah,
I don't think the Russell fight happens. I think Gary beats him, but
yeah.
it'll be fun, especially when we talk about the spurts that Magsayo was able to fight in, and Gary kind of is those spurts.
I tell you
As far as hand
this,
speed.
I've noticed this about fighters when they get into the 12-round fights. It's first fight scheduled for 12 rounds. I don't know if that was his first fight scheduled for 12, but guys change because they feel like they got to do something different because it's 12 rounds, You'll see guys have a 4-round pace and they don't carry that 4-round pace into the 8-round fight. Who you are, your identity should never leave you. And I felt like there was a lot of pacing going on for myself. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
I don't know how many 12-round fights he's had scheduled. He's gone 12 once, twice. So
and you're still
3
figuring.
times?
And you're still figuring. it out
Multiple
that-
times he went
Yeah,
12.
But you're still figuring it out.
But
at that point.
on that stage
10,
against a
he's
tough
gone the
guy,
distance. I just maybe it was the
Yeah,
guy,
the stage.
I didn't understand the spurts. I thought that they were very wide, and I felt like when he let his hands go, he had a lot of success.
Absolutely.
And so, in trying to explain the spurts, I figured maybe it was the fact that it was a 12-round fight. Could
still
be the
could be.
fighter.
Yeah.
I would like to. It's not necessarily the pace that needs to improve or increase, but the punch output and. He's good when he lets his hands go.
Yeah.
So let your hands go a little more. You know what I mean?
Well, we saw a little bit of that in the main event with Pacquiao, where his best defense was his offense a lot of the time,
Yep. Yeah.
and they have to expend a lot of energy to be effective. And that doesn't look easy from where I'm sitting from.
Him and Gary throwing.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah.
Him and Gary throwing while the other person was throwing would be fun to watch. Those guys trying to just kind of exchange, like those spurts from him compared to obviously Gary Russell's hands are notoriously fast. I think that'll be fun to watch. I don't think it happens, but
But anybody who's got the balls like him to let them things go.
Absolutely.
That's who you want to watch. It's
Absolutely.
exciting. So,
I like the fight with Magsayo and Valdez too.
absolutely,
Yeah.
of course, yeah.
That's an electrifying fight.
I would say Valdez still has the knockout of the year for me.
maybe the performance of the year.
Yeah, and I think like as far as a visual like knockout punch of the year, I think the knockout yesterday was up there as far as just like devastating knockout, but the stakes were lower.
Yeah.
So but beating Burchell,
It wasn't like De La Soul stakes is high.
Yeah, shout out to De La Soul. Their music's all up on streaming now. Me, myself, and I.
I will be checking that out on my plane right
Yeah,
today.
shout out to De La. But the co-main.
Let's go. I've been waiting. I've been sitting here waiting patiently, baby. Patiently.
Go ahead.
I've been looking forward to this.
I was as unhappy as I expected to be.
No, they was throwing them things.
I was.
They was throwing them things.
Here's my issue.
Okay.
Oh, there's a multitude of them, but the main one, the fight. There's no point. There was no point to it.
Oh no, we figured out a point.
Issue number one. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so typically,
So I got to answer for that.
Count the
But
issues.
so typically, if there's a fight that's just like that we're watching and we're like, dude, this whether it's boring, whether it's ugly, whatever it is, there's at least like a next thing where we're like, okay, you can match him up with.
I got something.
You can match him
because
up
he goes
with
on
so-and-so.
tyrants. He goes on tyrants.
So I'm like, you can match
Right.
you can match him up with somebody, but this fight, like, okay, Robert Guerrero wins. Who do you want to see him with?
No.
Any of the three of you. Tell me who you would like to see him fight.
Manny Pacquiao,
Manny
farewell
Pacquiao.
fight in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, my man got that.
Only if he's going to keep fighting.
But I don't even wanna
Only
see
if he's
that.
going to keep fighting.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that.
Like the fight was
And
it was ugly. It was boring.
I don't either, but
love
only,
Robert Guerrero,
only if he's going to
especially
keep
when he was
fighting.
at 130,
And
135.
those guys are great fighters. They were great fighters. Victor Ortiz, you did a great job in Expendables 3. But like, I didn't want to see Victor Ortiz fight, and I didn't want to see Robert Guerrero
You're not-
fight. So I damn sure didn't want to see them fight each other.
You're not mocking him, right? Because he did it. He did his thing.
No, he
in
was good.
Expendables
Yeah,
3. Okay.
no, he was good.
We agreed on that way back in the day.
No,
Yeah,
I think, but there
Because you
was,
brought it back like
but there was just
like-
no point. Like the fight happened. Like I don't care to see any of them in the ring again.
Yeah.
And the fight wasn't very fun to watch. It was a
They
lot
was
of-
throwing them things.
Were they?
Yes.
Were we watching the
Yes.
same
Go.
fight?
Go.
Ahead. Yeah, defend that.
Go.
please.
And you better have something or
Yeah.
you off the next episode.
Shout out to Dr. Dre.
Hey man, chill out. Hey, they was throwing them things.
There wasn't
No,
throwing
they really
them
weren't
things.
though. If those things you mean headbutts and holding and elbows,
Hey man, the guys are kind of past their primes.
kind of past their prime.
My man. I got it one better.
Right.
My man, Mr. Watson, just gave him a fight. You know, just put some money in your pocket, man. It's a pandemic.
So that's the justification.
I don't know.
My man, it's a pandemic.
Which is
best you
true.
got.
Which is true, but it's
We'll evaluate after the show. We'll
Yeah.
The
evaluate.
OGs can't get paid.
Exactly.
I'm
You never go back to the hood.
I don't
You-
know because I wasn't at your house. What was the atmosphere like in your house?
We all was talking.
yeah. Nobody
Nobody paid attention.
Because I mean, all right. So here's my thing.
It's an empty page.
Hey, my man licked the finger.
It really is an empty page. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I clocked out after 7. Again, no disrespect. I love both those guys and
In
who
their
they
prime?
are and were.
Absolutely.
But they're not who they were.
No,
And they should not have been the co-main.
no.
10 years
I did-
ago, this is a great fight.
I did a video.
Absolutely.
I had to do a video with Keith, like to get some energy back
Yeah,
because, like, we're about to go into the main event,
Yeah.
and we were.
It sucked the energy out the room.
Yeah.
And I think even with the fans, I think a lot of fans left, went to get some nachos
Yeah.
with the P.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So the fight was necessary. Give your time a chance to.
Yeah.
Call it a piss break.
yeah, it was an it was a nice
not
little.
nice,
It was a
Sean.
nice intermission.
Oh, it's not.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was a nice
I'm
intermission.
kidding. Okay.
But again,
Dang, y'all call my man fight a pit. That's crazy.
But to be honest, I don't think like I don't.
All right. Fight now.
Right.
This is me saying this, but I don't think criticizing the fight yesterday is disrespectful to their legacies.
No,
In my opinion.
No.
Because like Victor Ortiz, explosive fighter in his day, Robert Guerrero, extremely accomplished fighter in his day. So like, you got that. Like
Yeah.
you have that already. We can't take that away.
Right.
I just don't want to see you
Yeah.
today.
What I thought about while they were in the ring was like, hey, some of these old heads are coming back to the ring.
Yeah.
doing the YouTube thing now, all this and that. Like everybody's screaming, fight a real fighter if you're gonna box. But that's kind of what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? So
and it was 10 rounds. Like if that was a 6-round fight, maybe they could have let their hands go a little bit.
Yeah,
my man got a nerve to call somebody an old head. You 1 year younger than one of the fighters.
Yeah.
I think you forget sometimes.
And then even to the extent of like Victor Ortiz.
No, not them. But the old heads like Roy and Tyson.
And
them old heads.
And they've also fought like Guerrero was pro 20 years and Victor 17.
Yeah.
But also to Victor's point, he was doing media during the week and he's saying, yeah, the media retired me. And I was like, no, dude, like you retired you.
I didn't retire you, bro. I promise.
Yeah, like nobody was like, there was no conspiracy like, yeah, let's just say Victor Ortiz retired. Like the performances slipped. It was what it was.
Right.
Like, and that was it.
He had opportunities outside of boxing that he took up
and
on.
I think he could act. I really think.
Shout out to the tweet. Shout out to the tweet of the night. I'll stop both of these guys. Andre Berto.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he said he was.
Andre Berto.
Andre Berto said he was.
Who you was thinking?
I
was thinking Anthony Durrell. When you said Andre,
and he would stop.
I don't know. Shout out, dog. What's up with it?
But
I thought. Well, I mean, just to get what I thought.
Put some action on it.
Yeah. No, I thought that from what I was watching, I watched a good amount of the fight there in the arena. I thought.
God bless you.
Thank you. And by the way, it didn't sound I think what you're just trying to say, these guys were really good in their prime, and I don't really like watching them when they're not the fighters they once were. So that's simple.
That goes for any sport,
right? And I hate it's one of my least favorite things in boxing is seeing guys I watched get old.
Yeah,
I just hate it. But I thought that the decision could have went to Victor, and that it was. Just because they were fighting Victor's fight, and Robert didn't do anything with his jab after a round or two, and. I hate to be that cliche boxing guy on the couch, but it did look like Robert could have made the fight easier on himself with his jab. Didn't do that, and it was allowed to be Victor's fight because of it. Maybe Victor could have edged it out. And to give Victor credit, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he folded up once Robert started hitting him in the mouth consistently. Mm-hmm. Robert did do that, and he didn't fold. He didn't fold at all, and he gave it his all. I just want to give him credit for that because that's something that. A lot of us questioned about him heading into fights. So he came to fight. He gave his best. Robert, I wish he would have used his jab a little bit more. And, it was what it was. And
I asked Keith, I said, yo, do you consider that lazy fighting? He said, what do you mean? I said, like, both guys are fighting on the inside. Seems like somebody should take it to the outside. It seems like both guys. I said, you have to work a little harder from the outside. On the inside, you can kind of lay on the guy. And it's like you make these, what my dad calls silent agreements. We're going to go tit for tat, punch for punch. We'll exchange, and we won't move around and do too much. And I said, do you think that's lazy boxing? He looked at me. He said, dude, Robert Guerrero beat Andre Berto fighting just like this. I said, for real? He said I couldn't believe that he beat Andre Berto, but he did it fighting like this. This is something that he can do. He said, I really wouldn't say it's lazy boxing. I just think that this is what Guerrero has decided to do tonight. And I was like, okay, it made for a boring fight, but I'm going to keep it real. Once Keith said that, my mind kind of turned on to that, and I saw the fight more so going Guerrero's way. And that's a lot of times what happens with judges. When you see what you expect from the fighter, you're looking at that fighter like he's winning. Yeah. So when you say, man, it was a close fight, could have went either way. They both fought on the inside. They both fought the same fight, so on and so forth. Who's judging and what do they expect? And apparently they expected what Guerrero did to be the outcome of the fight.
And hopefully he retires. Hopefully he wins and you just walk off in the sunset.
Yeah.
Hey, my boy Victor Ortiz said he was going for undisputed.
Never said that.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
In what weight class?
In your weight class.
He never said
yes, in your weight class.
But like Robert Guerrero, you
Why you keep getting mad?
You get a win. You get the win over Victor Ortiz. Just ride off into the sunset. Just be done with it.
Yeah. And again, no disrespect. No, you got a great family. You got a great life.
Disrespect.
And even in the boxing world, like what you're the everything that his dad has laid down for him. Yeah. I mean, like I said, like
a great overachiever.
And that goes, like I mentioned, that goes for any sport. Like if you throw on a basketball game, you don't want to see guys that were great 15 years ago that don't have it anymore. Like it's just, you just don't want to see it. But
out of love and respect for what they were.
It's just like, I'm like, I don't want to remember you like this. I want to remember you like the ghost.
What's up, fans? We want to introduce our first official sponsor for the Welterweight podcast. Ultimate Sack.
Yeah, Ultimate Sack. I have the actual Ultimate Sack 6,000, and it's
6,000, huh?
yeah 6,000. What do you have? I think you got 6,000 too.
I got about 4 or 5 for your kids, your dogs, your family, old people, young people. Anybody can get on it. My kids love it. So do I. I'm a big kid at heart, so I'm always jumping on my Ultimate Sack.
And I don't have kids yet, but I have a dog. My dog loves it. Stays on the Ultimate Sack all times. I've had people come over the house, drunk, not drunk, pass out on it. It's one of my go-to sleeping spots also. Very comfortable.
Check it out. We have a Ultimate Sack promo code for you. TPW Sack 15. Get online, ultimatesack.com. Order your Ultimate Sack today. You get 15% off.
And compared to the leading competitors, Ultimate Sack is way cheaper, I guarantee you.
Cheaper and better.
Yep.
Get your sack.
Get your Ultimate Sack and get your sack right.
Main event. Another guy that's a little older, but still bringing it.
That page is even more empty.
Still fought a good fight.
Yeah. Congrats on calling you called the main event on a pay-per-view, man. That's an accomplishment.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna charge Fox for that.
And gave a good prediction before the fight. You know, you said that fight gets his second half. Gonna be tough, very tough for Manny in the second half of the fight.
I think when we was watching, once it got to 6, I said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't really doing a lot in the first 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if you got it.
So Ant and I watched the fight. There was a very split as far as the result. Mm-hmm. So that's why there was the scorecards. I wasn't surprised that it was close.
Yeah, I thought Manny won, but I definitely.
You thought Manny won? Yeah.
I still give it to Ugas. Yeah,
and I think most of the people there thought Manny won. Yeah, I thought Ugas won.
I wasn't mad at it,
but I thought. So I tweeted. I said, "I'm surprised that they didn't give it to Manny, just because."
Yeah.
And I'm shocked it was a unanimous decision. I thought at least it was going to be split.
Yeah, that got me.
And I'm happy for Ugas because I thought he landed the cleaner shots. I thought he won the fight, and he's had close fights. Whether everyone just keeps going back to your fight, but like. He's had close fights and he came up short. But
COVID-19 is the only thing that kept me from going into his locker room. I really wanted to extend my hand to him and Silas and his entire team. I know Louis DeCubas very well. I was so happy for them, man. I just thought that they did a fantastic job. I did not see it. I saw 8-4, and that was me being nice to Manny and giving him a round that I actually scored 10-10 because I thought it was too close.
You know, I thought, like I told you, I felt. Should we say this?
Go for it.
I felt like you should have been more on angles with Ugas. Mm-hmm. I thought Manny was gonna be on angles with Ugas. Manny looked old.
Yeah.
Manny looked old.
And said he was tight. Like he
had them complaints we'd be having. Oh, I just walked downstairs.
Right.
Oh,
I think I tore my hamstring on the couch. I mean, I think the spurts for Manny. We talked about with Magsayo the spurts. We talked about the flurry. So if he was throwing these 5 punches. Not a lot of them were landing clean, if at all.
Yeah, we see.
My concern was the judges.
Right?
Yeah, the judges were gonna be like, "Oh man, look at Manny, he's jumping, he's firing these shots."
Although
off.
Ugas' face showed that some shots were
yeah,
definitely
that's what somebody said yesterday. Like he was landing punches. It's not to say Manny didn't touch him.
I did the best I could to like kind of give it to y'all during the telecast, but I knew I'd have more time and more of an opportunity to do it now. Ugas gave Manny, from what I could see, it looked like 4 different looks. And Manny could not figure out which one was coming and when it was coming. There were moments where Ugas would stand there and block. Then there were moments where Ugas would back up and force Manny to use his feet. Now Manny doesn't know, like, am I going to have to run in and get you? Yeah. Or, and end up walking into something. Or can I stand right here and punch you from the outside? Those were the 2 looks. And then he gave another look where Manny would start to punch. And then as Manny was finishing, he would go.
Yeah.
And he started to finish the exchanges even better than I've seen anybody finish exchanges with Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. And then there was one other look that I felt like he was given that has escaped me right now, but I felt like here's the thing that I think we all overlooked. Even though this was a late replacement fight for Yordenis Ugas, and I'm pulling from my own experience, and I don't think that I'm wrong. You're always looking at who's at top. So even though I'm getting ready for you, if you're at top, I'm always at some point I'm gonna be hitting the bag thinking about you, thinking about what I would do against you. Yeah, I got you in front of me right now, but my target is you. And so at some capacity, he's always thought about Manny Pacquiao. He's always thought about Floyd Mayweather,
Watched them
myself.
forever.
Yeah. And so it's like you're preparing for them without actually intending to prepare for them. Prepare for them.
It's kind of like sports. You build your team to beat the team.
Yeah. And then on the other side of that, you got Silas, unbelievable Cuban coach who just has to go down and do the X's and O's real quick. Gave Ugas a fabulous game plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fabulous game plan. And
Shout out to Ugas, man.
He fought the perfect fight.
I'm like, yo, I saw this
him.
fight 9-3 and then being nice, I saw 8-4.
Damn.
And I thought Manny would win. I was wrong. Like I said, I thought Ugas won watching the fight.
Yeah.
You mentioned it was funny, the exchanges. So Manny would have these flurries and Ugas would finish it. Manny would throw and Ugas would hit him. Man was like, okay, I got chill. Like he would all of a sudden, like, he's like, and then Ugas would hit him with a straight right hand, and he was like, okay, that's the end of my exchange.
I'm not gonna lie. 8-9. I'm watching the fight. I'm like, thank God it's not Errol Spence. Earl would have said, "F it, I'm getting him out of here."
Oh yeah.
He would have stepped on the gas and got Manny, and it would have been bad. It would have been bad.
Styles make fights.
Earl would have stepped on the gas and banged him out of here.
Fights. I'm still gonna go on record for saying I'm not sure how that fight would have went.
Earl would Manny got
Is
old,
Ugas
man.
a little cuter than Errol? Got a little.
They're both good looking guys.
No, I know. The boxing.
No, I know what you're saying.
I like my man with hair.
No, I would say that I think that
A little
Errol's got
trickier, a little more savvy.
Errol's got more than Ugas.
Right.
Ugas used what he had and he used it to perfection. Manny wasn't ready for what Ugas had and could never figure it out.
Yeah.
Could literally never figure it out. And I'm not saying that Errol Spence Jr. is an easier fighter, but Manny was preparing. I'm not making excuses. Manny was preparing for Errol Spence Jr. And so
I just think no matter what, he would have got tired, Sean. The mid round.
Yeah.
We even said that
Yeah.
before. The mid rounds.
Yeah.
We said Earl was gonna break him
yeah,
down.
the back. I said the back. That
He
back
was
4 to 5.
And you know what? Earl started going to the body.
Yeah.
And adding in that Manny said he was tight and couldn't really.
Oh, you can't be tight
it was
against Errol Spence.
If you're gonna be tired and tight.
He
be
would
laid
he
out.
would have clipped him
But
to death.
I agree with what you were saying though, as far as it would have been a very different fight.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
in general. But I do think Errol would have won. I think Ugas is. I'm very happy for him. Just in the now you're vindicated as the champion.
Yeah, because nobody.
They handed you the title, whatever.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I felt happy for
I'm
him because
glad
he was
you
like,
said
he was
that.
like, I told you. Like,
Yeah.
I was the champion.
He was respectful all week about it. He didn't go back at Manny about, oh no, this is my belt. And I just,
Yeah.
he just
But he
Hey, shout out to you, all you conspiracy theories out there.
with the bicep.
With the biceps and stuff like that.
Yeah, somehow his arm
Hey,
didn't
bicep
fall
that.
off based on that.
Bicep that.
Yeah. I was so happy for him, and I think
Yeah, I said, remember months ago when he was awarded the title, I said,
Beat somebody.
I said, you got to beat somebody. As
Yeah.
soon as you win one fight as a champion,
somebody.
then I'll call you a champion. If I get scheduled with Manny, I'm literally like, dang, I wish I could call you a champion, but
Yeah.
now you got Manny. Man, listen, what he did last night was
special.
Special.
Ugas is a champion.
Ugas
Now we
is
can
a
say
champion.
that. But so
And that boy went to the back room. He cried so much. I know he did. He cried so hard.
he really and
He was humble
And he's done.
all
He's
week.
gone through a
Yeah.
lot. He's gone through a lot in his life and his boxing, and it was good to see.
Hey,
finally.
shout
found
out to. Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
Shout out to Yordenis Ugas and Shawn Porter for effing up the welterweight division by the end of the year.
Right. It was supposed to be. Yeah.
This could get really effed up.
yeah.
So, one thing too quickly about Ugas before I get into the fight is I didn't know until fight week that he had a daughter, a 7-year-old child with autism. So, shout out to the champ for getting that done for her. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I just think that's a beautiful thing for Yordenis.
Yeah.
Coming from, Cuba, where he said it was a really living in communism was so hard, and then he has his daughter out here, and his nickname is Miracles. So that's a fitting nickname, man. Happy for him and his family.
Yeah, and he, I think on a not a skill level, we'll go with that, but like he doesn't do one thing. He doesn't have one thing that's like his calling card. He doesn't have your pressure and athleticism. He doesn't have Terrence Crawford's one punch power and switching. He doesn't have he's not great, elite, special at one thing. He's just a really good fighter.
And that right hand that he had last night.
Yeah.
when we, as amateurs, and even now in the amateur system, when we talk about, man, those international fighters are hard. The international fighters do things a little differently than we do. Have y'all ever seen that punch?
I wanted to touch on that.
I said on a video
Have you
game.
seen that punch?
You know, usually down the middle,
on a video game,
the closest thing is
beautiful.
Madonna.
A little.
I mean,
Marquez in the first Pacquiao fight, there's a few highlights. Marquez hit him with that shot a couple times, but I remember in that first fight, he threw it like that.
Floyd.
It was like boxing.
Floyd was more straight down the middle.
Boxing.
Textbook.
On Wii Boxing, the punch would come from off the screen. Because it's like, you're here, and all of a sudden, I mean, he's throwing it way
Hey, Carson, I felt like
yeah, and right in the ear. I feel like you hear it.
But it's a beautiful shot.
Manny was catching them, but they still seemed like they was.
That was a homing.
They was getting through
to his ear every time.
He hit you with one of those?
No, he never hit me with that. But where was you have a Hall of Fame corner.
Yeah.
How do you not make an adjustment off of that? And
Freddie
I said, shame on me for not thinking to say this, but why hasn't Manny tried rolling underneath that right hand?
He did it once.
The adjustment he made, which is a good adjustment, is keeping the left hand at home.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, if you roll, it gives you an opportunity to counter.
Right, the judges still score that. So a lot of times. And he was getting it around the guard anyway. Your boy Keith Thurman, he said before the fight that the length of that shot is what's going to get. And you could see Manny would try to pull out and get out of range, and he just couldn't get out of range of that. Yeah, and a lot of that was Ugas. This is one thing we gave him a lot of credit for heading into the fight. We just didn't know if he could make up for the speed difference with it, but his timing is excellent. You know, great timing. That right hand was one thing that was beautiful. And then he did, just mention the cute things he did. He did this double jab where the first one was soft and then the second one was hard. And usually it's kind of the other way around, right?
Really deliver the first one, then just kind of...
The first one that actually showed that to me was Shane Mosley. He's
right.
take some of the steam off the first one and then pop the second one. I don't know. I don't know what to go the other way around. Actually, I don't know what to go fast and then slow.
Or usually just both are fast. I meant both are fast. Right. And I usually don't see a little soft touch bang, and that was beautiful. Yeah. And my dumb ass. Before the fight, I'm saying, and I asked you about it, and I go, is he fast enough to land body shots in the center of the ring? Ain't he gonna have to get Manny to the man? His timing was so good. First 30 seconds, whoop, whoop, snuck it underneath, right hand to the body. Timing really helped beat speed, even though timing beat speed last night. Facts, but I still thought that the great Manny Pacquiao maybe could have pulled out. It was the kind of fight where I was watching it. And I'm like, it's real. And I'm watching it 20 rows up. Not watching it on TV. I'm not watching it ringside. But I'm saying this is kind of the fight I'm watching where
20 rows, huh?
Yeah.
Ben wasn't looking out.
Hey,
chill out. Porterweight Podcast wasn't looking out either.
I'm just putting him on.
That's the PR people, baby. That's the PR people, baby.
Unreal.
But come on, PR people, fight hype. We need both be on the floor.
That's crazy.
But it was the kind of fight where I'm watching where I'm like, they could really take this either way. Yeah. They could either say Ugas is winning this fight because his accuracy is better, and he's probably landing the better shots, or they could just go, and another good right hand for Ugas, but not enough, too many lulls in between, and Pacquiao with his combinations is outworking the younger guy.
He threw
400 more punches. Yeah. So I still looked at the fight as if you wanted to give it to Manny, that's cool, but right guy probably won because at the end of the day, clean punches is what we're here for, right? Yeah. And Ugas was cleaner. But I just want to say, I thought at 42, I would have been okay if you had it a draw or if they thought Manny Pacquiao pulled it out.
It wasn't a fight where if they had said Pacquiao, I would have been disgusted or robbery or anything to that extent. There weren't a ton of very lopsided rounds.
No.
Like most of the rounds had the same blueprint. A lot of activity from Manny. Less activity, but better accuracy and probably cleaner shots from Ugas. Like almost every round was that formula.
Listen, I scored every single round, and there were rounds where I was like, now I know how the judges feel because my heart wants to give this round to Manny, but what I'm seeing and what logic is telling me that Ugas won that round, I'm like, in good conscience, I can't even do it. Yeah. Like I can't. I don't know how accurate my score is because I'm like, can't do this.
I gotta give it to the guy
I was
the
like,
cleaner
I
shots.
can't do that to Manny, and that's just how it goes from a judging standpoint. You
And
know,
I think to look back at it,
especially with close rounds.
a lot of people may owe you an apology because that's kind of how you supposed to. You got to fight Ugas like that.
Yeah,
Hey, I went
Now,
back. I
outside-
thought he won that fight with Ugas.
Hey, I don't, but
It-
that's my guy.
go back there.
We had a conversation behind the scenes.
It is funny now looking at just from obviously your perspective that some people now are like, oh, it really wasn't that bad of a performance from Shawn. You know, even if
Right.
you edge Ugas in a close fight, and then other people were like, man, imagine if they would have robbed him against Porter. And I'm like,
Man,
okay.
I just
like,
gotta say for my boy, man, like y'all go too crazy with that, like it was a robbery. I rewatched that fight
Really close
twice.
fight.
The man was leaking from his mouth after 3 or 4 rounds from the
Yeah.
jab. Okay, and he kept trying to in the last 10 seconds.
The biggest problem
make
is-
faces at Shawn and try to take the round at the end. I'm just saying, you won that fight.
Yeah.
and not
Close
enough
fight,
people
though,
say
but-
that.
I mean, it wasn't
You know,
no blowout,
the biggest thing is a lot of us were just like, I'm
Who is
Shawn's
the- who is
friend,
the-
just
who is
like,
this guy?
who is this?
Yeah.
Well, something we never seen before, and obviously I don't know shit about boxing because you guys knew what the hell you was doing.
right. My dad knew that the adjustment was going to be making Ugas move and use his feet. We knew that he didn't have, certainly not the type of feet that I have, but we knew that we would have an advantage in terms of him trying to find us.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were able to outbox him. I didn't feel like the fight was close. It is what it is. But I will say this, someone in his camp, I won't say who it is, but someone in his camp said, hey, you got that. He said, but I told him you were going to do that. I said, what?
How the hell you knew?
He said, man, I've been watching you for a long time. I knew you were going to box like that.
That's funny.
Here's the thing. Ugas was really amped up for a firefight with me. He thought we were going to be in the center of the ring going toe-to-toe.
Understandably so.
I was the same way.
And when that didn't happen, he could not get his mind to turn on to doing
Like eventually he's gonna
anything
come,
else.
Yeah.
and then you came once.
And and he could not turn his mind on to doing anything else. With this fight here with Manny Pacquiao, he had multiple things that he was prepared to do against Manny, and he was able to execute all of them through the course of 12 rounds.
And it also,
And the other,
you're good.
the other side of that was Manny never did anything different. Again,
But he
Manny's
never
42.
has.
Again,
Being Manny's always gotten it done.
But Manny has always done this.
And-
Manny's
hey,
always done this, and he didn't attempt that last night.
I thought he did sometimes. There's a few times he shot off his.
Couple times, but never to set anything up.
And we used to get that for 12.
And he would set things up. He didn't set anything up last night.
I think that even plays into what I was going to say with, we mentioned it when we were previewing the fight. I kind of said, does that benefit Ugas? Because Manny is not going to fight him on the outside. He's going to have to come forward and throw combinations.
Mm-hmm.
And it did. He was in range. He was trying to overwhelm him with activity and volume punching. And Ugas was like, okay, I got longer reach. I'll sit here and everything with Ugas other than that wide right hook was very A to B. It's just 1, 2, just and obviously to the body. But Manny being that close and being that, I gotta throw all these punches, and Ugas is like, okay, you're right in my range, man.
Amazing
there.
composure.
Boom, yeah.
Amazing.
My dad always says, if you could do something that another fighter does, don't not do it and go to that fighter's level. You always fight at your level, and that's what Manny did. I'm not saying that Manny's on a higher level than Ugas or anything like that. Certainly before the fight, we thought that Manny was, but if anything, you could say that whatever the case was, that Manny did not use his feet, did not use a jab, did not try to use the angles that he normally uses with fight. He took himself to the level of someone who can't do those things, and it did not benefit him in that fight.
Should have been back-to-back weeks of Cubans when having title fights.
This one.
Carson the Cubano.
Hey, we may get a rematch, or we may get Jamal James versus Ugas, or we may get Virgil Ortiz versus Ugas, both #1 contenders.
I don't think we see any of those, but
What about
it's gonna be
I
Errol.
don't
Shawn
either,
Porter,
but-
Ugas too?
Earl got to get his eye right. Yeah, I'll take it.
That's a good fight.
Hey, Sean got to take care of business.
Yeah.
Sean got something else to do.
I think Ugas. I think he fights Errol because it seemed like that was going to happen already,
Right.
and then it didn't.
Oh
and
yeah.
so now
it was out of nowhere.
Yeah. So now I think that's the fight that happens.
What about Keith Thurman? Come back.
You guys talked about it yesterday. There's maybe 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Any of those guys.
Yeah.
If you go down the list, if you're like, all right, who do you want to see Ugas with next? I'm fine with EJ, Bud, Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter, Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, like any of them. I'm fine with any of
Dang,
them.
look how y'all do Danny Garcia.
Do I want to see him against Danny Garcia? Not
He's moving to
particularly.
54, he says.
Yeah, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't even completely hate that fight. But I'm just like, it's something where those matchups are all
The
fun.
best fight for
Danny.
For Danny.
Yeah.
Best fight for
Ugas?
Ugas, yeah. The
That'd
best
be a
fight
fight.
for Danny.
Yeah. So I just think
Yeah.
there's so many good fights right there. I'm not like there's not one where I'm like I really want to see that one. Like I just think Ugas, you got your belt, you kept your belt, you've validated yourself as a
Shout out to
champion.
Ugas.
Only problem
whoever.
with that is had Errol have won, that void that Manny's leaving behind, if he leaves, would have been filled so much more.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
I think we don't
Yeah.
feel the same.
Yeah.
We don't feel the same about him as we would feel about Earl.
No. I mean, you know,
I mean,
he
one,
started.
what he said.
one is the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
One is the best welterweight in boxing. So it's tough to.
What you got to put my man up there.
And I've also
As
been
the best?
One of the best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the best. He's not the best. Errol Spence is the best welterweight walking this planet right now.
Spence is more of a draw than Ugas, and you know,
Yeah, he's undefeated. He's
Yeah.
younger. I mean, he's. Just
Hey, the undefeated thing doesn't matter, man.
what do you mean it doesn't matter?
I'm saying people need to stop making it such a thing. I got to fight cupcake.
No, I get that, but I'm saying he hasn't lost. So
I'm just saying, look at Ugas. He lost 3 fights, basically started his career over.
Yeah.
First part of his, now this is the second part of his career, and he's doing his thing. So don't focus on being undefeated. so much.
I'm not saying focus on like Keith Thurman always said, I'm not afraid to let it go. I agree with that. I'm not saying like protect yourself, but Errol is beating.
I mean-
this guy, Kell Brook,
Earl got detached
Danny
right now.
Garcia.
He got bigger problems right now.
yeah,
allegedly.
yeah, really.
detached.
No, I mean, he's got a He's,
He put it
no,
out.
I'm saying
he put it
it's
out.
torn. It's very allegedly
No,
detached.
he put the stuff out.
I don't think he did. That there was a. I know what you're talking about. There was a doctor that.
because is it torn or is it detached?
so
Like
the-
what was put out?
So what we were told was torn.
you gotta tell me because
And then there was a reporter that interviewed a doctor that I think did Abner Mares's surgery and kind of was speculating that it might be detached, but didn't have Errol's medical information.
No matter what, he's effed up right now.
and I hope,
Yeah.
man, I hope he gets better.
Of course,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm looking at it in the sense of I think he's back and he's full force.
Hey, shout out to all the jackasses thinking my man's gonna spend 10. I don't know how much y'all spend before camp and all this stuff, but $10,000 to $100,000 on chefs, rent out an Airbnb, all this stuff, sparring partners. To all of a sudden, I'm scared to fight and fake the injury.
Yeah.
You're a jackass.
Yeah, that's just-
Why would he do that? Why?
It's stupid on every
that makes
level.
absolutely no sense, Sean.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What?
Especially when you going up against Manny. You've been again looking at Manny forever. Probably since he was a kid. Like
the payday. Like,
Yeah,
It makes
the whole
no
nine.
sense.
on any
whole
planet, it
nine.
makes no
Yeah.
sense. So yeah,
I wonder what he was thinking last night. You know, like saying to himself,
I'm sure it's frustration.
He
because
wanted to be the one to do that.
because you could have been
You
the
know what I
guy.
mean?
Because you wanted to be the one to do it.
Everyone,
Terrence
I
like
should.
that.
I wanted to be the one to do it.
Okay.
But I mean, if you look at it in the sense of like, it's funny looking at Manny's resume. He has losses to Jeff Horn and Yordenis Ugas. Like those are very like.
get older, you start taking L's to
and they're
guys you wouldn't have
very
took L's
Like it's just
before.
random. Like you're gonna look down his resume years from now, 20 years from now.
And
you're
besides that Timothy Bradley fight, you could have said he lost those 2 fights. Jeff Horn, yeah, he was on him.
yeah, I'm just.
Yeah,
It's
he
just
was.
funny. You're gonna look back and you're gonna see these names, and it's like, wait, he lost to who? He lost.
but he's
Jeff Horn?
At the very beginning, at the very end.
But
Yeah.
he's such a
Yeah.
legend, you're not gonna think about it. It's like Mike
True.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson got some scrubs.
The only guys that beat Manny in his prime were Morales, Mayweather, and Marquez.
Yeah.
You know, the early knockouts he had, he was an emaciated guy from the Philippines,
Yeah.
and towards the end, you know, he's towards the end.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think the welterweight division it is kind of a weird place just based on injuries, belts. There's just potential fights, not potential fights. Is just kind of a strange time.
and shout out to Dame who watches all of the fights.
Yeah.
My dude
Had
said
Joe Goose and Brian Kenny under pressure.
Yeah, my
Right.
dude said they trying to paint this picture to us
Yeah.
viewers and make us feel like Manny's winning this fight
Yeah.
when he's not. I told him after the fight, I said, yo, I had it 8-3, one of those rounds you could give either way. He said, yeah, that's exactly how it was. And it was funny that they brought that in and I got to play off of it because I was like, there's no way he's talking about me.
No.
Like,
Hey, shout out to Joe Goose. I'm about to put the pause on Shawn Porter.
shout out to Joe and shout out to BK, man. I love those guys.
Absolutely.
And so I'm blessed that I'm able to confirm this. When I was little, I would listen to commentary. I'd be like, are these guys being told what to say?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like they were given in certain fights. It was like, you're not being fair to the other guy.
Yeah.
And I made up my mind like a long time ago, way before I started doing this commentary stuff.
Feeding them.
Whenever I start doing that, I'm gonna feed to both sides and play it fair. I'm not gonna do what these guys are doing. And so last night I go downstairs and I don't know if I didn't receive some information or whatever, but I would confirm that we are not told what to say. But I feel like to start the fight, I think Joe and BK had a certain expectation and couldn't really let go of it. And I'm so like everything that I'm saying, I feel like I'm contradicting these guys. I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing this because I know what I'm seeing, and then to know that I'm not wrong. Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna be disrespectful. All the homage to BK. Of course. I was like, and I kicked it with Joe plenty. I know what's going on. I'm like, what are they not seeing here?
All the respect to me.
I would have loved.
Like,
so yeah, I'm trying my best.
What are you not seeing? I would have loved.
Listen, I'm trying my best to be respectful. I'm like, yo, should I just shut up? Because something's not right here. Yeah. And then they threw in this tweet from Dame. I was like, thank you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My man say they talking to you.
Yeah, I say, yo, Dame's not talking to me. He's talking to y'all. So.
Which was funny. Everyone was like, man, this commentary is really biased towards Manny, except for Shawn Porter.
Yeah.
Who was very obviously
I mean,
shooting it straight.
At the time, Damian tweeted it. I think it was in the 7th. You know, and I'd rather be on the side of Shawn Porter than mine. But, you know, so again, I'm not hearing the commentary, but I think that's solid that BK and them thought Manny maybe was ahead through 7. Because, again, that was the first 6 to 7 where Manny was at his best.
Yeah.
And the whole time, when Dame tweeted it, I'm like, I know exactly why he's saying that.
Yeah.
Ugas is landing the cleaner shots. But again, you know, I thought you could still argue up until that point that Manny was still argue that maybe he's outworking him. So other guys getting off the cleaner shots, but you know, sometimes you give around the guy for out hustling him. So I'm still not mad that they had him.
And it wasn't something where we've talked about it on the show. We've talked about it just personally. There are definitely times where there's not, I don't want to say an agenda, but there's a time where there's just a clear bias where you're like, okay, stop trying to sell me. It's like somebody keeps knocking on the door. You're like, no, I don't. My car insurance is fine.
Good.
Like my warranty's up to date.
Yeah.
I don't think that was the case yesterday.
Yeah.
I think you lean towards the legend naturally.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were watching the fight. People thought Manny was winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Like people, I heard people in real life say Manny. So it wasn't. It wasn't something where it was like Ugas is completely smoking his boots, and it's like, oh yeah, Manny's winning. It was a close. The rounds were close enough where you could see it. So I think they're just kind of leaning that way. But
yeah, I just think the people appreciating Ugas. They were appreciating the cleaner work.
Yeah,
you know,
and I always appreciate the cleaner shots.
Right,
as well.
right.
Guillermo Rigondeaux.
You must not be a Shawn Porter fan.
We've talked about this before. You're gonna dap him up for the non-clean work? That's crazy. I'm virtually dapping Keith, but I do prefer cleaner punches. But
and then I mean to close this, do we all collectively feel that Manny should retire?
Yes,
Also.
absolutely.
Yes.
Hell of a career.
Not disrespectful.
I thought it was a good performance to retire on, even in a loss.
I felt like BK said, Brian Kenny said one of the most amazing things I had ever heard. I hadn't thought about it at all. I don't think I even knew it until he said it. He says, Manny Pacquiao has had 2 Hall of Fame careers. Yeah. And when he said that, my jaw dropped. We were on live, and my jaw dropped because I know it was coming. Yeah. And as soon as they said it and I heard it, I was like, you're right. Yeah. I looked at Keith. I said, yo, we're fighting for 1 Hall of Fame career, and this man has had 2 Hall of Fame careers. For you to go out like this, it's Yordenis Ugas. It's one of the elite fighters in the world, and what other old head out there is willing to take on or could take on one of these guys? You know what I mean? So I think it's that time, and I'd love for him to go back home and run for president and live that life now.
I'm happy.
I was gonna say I'll speak for myself. I think we have a similar sentiment. I don't want to see Pacquiao keep fighting and not looking like Manny Pacquiao. Kind of like going back to the Ortiz Guerrero fight, like that. We're like, those aren't the guys we watched. I don't want to see.
You're not that guy,
fight.
man.
Yeah.
How's it go?
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to see him in there with somebody else where it's just like it just keeps going down.
And the greater you are, the more it hurts to see.
Yeah, and he might have. And the thing is, if he fights like 3 more times, he might have one where it's like he gets a knockout. And we're like, okay, but then it's the other ones where it just keeps like the level keeps going down. I don't want to see.
And he's loved so much that a lot of us was hurt. It was just like, especially after the
no appetite this morning.
It's just like it took it took a lot out of us. Yeah. It took a lot out of us.
Yeah,
I'm a little upset.
Yeah, just you had, like you said, 2 Hall of Fame careers, legend, one of the most beloved fighters ever across the board, action packed, knockouts. Like, just you did it. Go live your life in the Philippines and run for president.
This little dude would time after time knock
8
off my
division-
favorite fighters.
8 division champion.
There's no way he's going
8
to do
divisions.
this to Cotto.
Yeah.
And no, I'm happy Brian said that because, Manny gets that mainstream love after he beats De La Hoya.
Yeah.
But he was a legend after 2006.
Yeah.
After he knocked out Barrera and Morales, those are 2 of the greatest fighters of all time in those weight. He could have called it a wrap
At
back
that
then.
point, yeah.
06.
Yeah. Just a legend. So I think retire. And then we can, as we wrap up, there's a fight next week. We don't have to talk about this long.
No David Benavidez, that sucks.
But there's a pay-per-view fight on Sunday.
Right.
On Showtime.
Jake Paul.
Showtime.
I'm not ordering that.
Cleveland's finest.
What? I wasn't supposed to say that?
No, you're fine to say.
Oh.
I mean, Chris Arreola said to stream his fight
I'm
legally.
just saying, I'm
when
not
he was
ordering
on,
that. Hey,
but-
shout out to what our boy Steven Espinoza.
Yeah, shout out to Steven Espinoza. But yeah, so
Maybe Sean ordered.
maybe if anything, so I don't know about predictions for the fight. I really don't know what to expect.
I got Jake Paul. He's been
But from a personal perspective of being from Northeast Ohio, a very Cleveland-centric card.
Yeah.
Jake Paul gets the headline, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yep.
Montana Love
Yeah.
against Branchick on the card.
Yeah.
Who wins that?
Branchett.
Branchick gets him?
We got to see what he's got after that
War with
Zepeda fight.
Zepeda, yeah.
I mean, that was the kind of fight that can
Take all the juice out. of it.
Years out.
leave it all in the ring that night.
Charles Conwell, also on the card. Great to see.
Pressure fighter.
Dubois.
Surprised they not pulling him off that card. Charles
Yeah.
Conway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that whole situation
Sean
was
on
crazy.
feeling that Ring City story because you were going to call that fight.
No, you don't.
Perfect. That's why I was thinking.
Yeah, like you just don't say.
Why would you say it?
You don't say it.
He's in a tough, I have some sympathy for. He's in a tough spot. With,
So I've never done that,
right.
but I know.
Let's speak on
people-
let's speak on what happened for the people that didn't
Okay,
know.
so Charles Conwell had a fight scheduled on Ring City, and then I suppose he gets a call for more money.
So the way he explained it, very general terms, was that his advisor, David McWater, I believe. Manager, however you look at it, boxing is weird that way.
Don't even call him an advisor.
Yeah.
That's who the hell was you advising?
But he told him pretty much pull out of the fight, say you're injured,
Yeah,
pull out of the fight, and
Yeah.
he did.
yeah. And so because of that, like I said, he was supposed to fight on the Ring City card. I was going to commentate. I don't care about that. What I care about is that how you carry yourself beyond that point.
Yeah.
If that was what you decided to do because of economical reasons, because it was a wrong fight for you, or the wrong time for
your
you,
hand was hurt.
or your hand was hurt, whatever the case may be, keep that in the camp.
Absolutely.
Keep that with your family and just move forward and get back to the ring when you can. Like, there's no need to revisit old news, especially not like that.
Yeah.
So
Don't like that it happened. Don't like that he talked about it.
and I also
And I'm
go
a
on
fan
record
of
for
him.
saying, I'm not mad at Charles. I'm mad at like the situation.
Yeah.
I'm mad at everybody around Charles for not handling the situation and allowing.
I'm a little mad
Charles
at him.
to- yeah.
I'll
Took
be candid.
what he thought was the right advice.
Yeah.
And he's grown. That's on him.
I'm a
But
little
I-
mad at
I
him.
Still,
but
yeah.
I'm mad at the situation more.
I'm mad at him too.
Yeah, I'm mad at him
trying to be
because it is. I think the situation is more so to blame, but in the end, you're the one that did it. That you're the one that's involved. But
Yeah.
so he's back. Daniel Dubois is back.
The great Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano, yeah, co-main. I'm super happy about that. That's great to see, and in Cleveland too. Hope Cleveland gets some love.
Maybe pound for pound the best female puncher ever, Amanda Serrano. So
Yeah, hopefully.
bad.
I'm hoping this is her biggest stage ever.
right.
I hope she is who we think she is on this stage. I don't have any doubt she will be.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want this to be like the one where she has like an off night, and
Right.
we're like,
Right.
oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like,
Hopefully she comes in with an edge.
yeah, because we know,
yeah.
like you said, she might be one of the best pound for pound female punchers in the game. She might be one of the best pound for pound punchers in the game.
Yeah, well,
But,
female fighters ever too.
yeah.
So.
So
Yeah.
I think so hopefully, and then Fury's brother is on the card.
Tommy Fury.
So it really is a stacked card as far not like a ton of great matchups maybe, but a lot of people getting an opportunity on a pay-per-view, which is nice.
Yeah.
And in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
I expect Jake to win just because he's been real smart with his matchmaking.
Yeah.
Real smart. Get guys with the wrestling background. I know Tyron Woodley's a much better striker fighter than Ben Askren was, but still smaller guy, older guy, former MMA guy. Smart pattern.
Close it out. Where should somebody go if they're going to this fight in Cleveland? My suggestion would be Slimans for little corned beef. Probably because Hot Sauce Williams is
Melt.
The grilled cheese spot.
Bob Evans, if you like breakfast food.
Oh, Bob Evans, yeah.
Bob
Nice.
Evans.
Hey, don't go.
pancakes.
Hey, if you're me, don't go to a third world country like
West Side Market.
What's our
Call
market?
Cleveland.
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
nice
Cleveland's a third world country.
What's our corned beef spot?
Slimans.
Not Sliman's, the other one.
I don't know the other one.
All right, then I don't know the one.
But yeah,
either.
no.
So
enjoy Cleveland.
Hey, Cato Plant, Canelo got officially announced November 6th.
Yeah.
Is that in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Come on.
Better be.
Yeah, it is.
Are you calling the fight?
I might be busy.
Oh, he said I might be across the street doing something.
Hip hop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And for anyone that is, and what's funny is there could be an update between now and when this podcast comes out on that alleged situation.
Yeah,
But
I don't know nothing about nothing.
Just
No,
happy
and
they
I
got
really
the fight
don't.
done.
Yeah.
I'm happy they got the fight done.
Caleb and Canelo, yeah. Of course, yeah. Glad we had some peaks and some valleys, but fight is made.
I talk to people
Undisputed.
in boxing, and they write Caleb off so quickly, and I'm not sure I'm doing that. I think he's got a chance.
Yeah, I'm not writing them off at
Yeah.
all. I need
Yeah.
that fight to start, and once the fight starts, a lot like this one, and
Right.
then I'll see what's cracking. But until that time, I'm not writing off Caleb.
I'm
Plant.
definitely writing Caleb Plant off.
I'm not mad at
I'm not
you,
even
but
gonna
it is
lie.
what
You
it
can't
is.
fight 3 7-Eleven workers and a taxi cab driver and then think you're gonna fight the top dog.
We'll see.
I guarantee he
we
does
see-
better than Saunders.
Yeah, we
Guarantee it.
Oh, he gonna get knocked out in 12?
but we
Hey, he got a couple rounds.
we've seen people that step up,
Such an old black man.
but we've seen people step up and have great nights when the time came. So we just say Caleb can't be that guy.
Yeah, he could be that.
Hey, let's
You're not that guy. Nah, he
end
could
this
be.
on.
He was fired up.
My dude was
I don't know what he said, huh?
like a 70-year-old black man.
Old black man arguing. Joe Frazier would stop Mike Tyson.
You're like, he ain't gonna beat Canelo.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But listen, I got to jump on the plane, so we got to roll.
Okay, let's get out of here.
All right, y'all.
All right, Puffy.
Have a blessed day.
the plane.
Thank you for watching the Porter Way. What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ed. Follow me on IG, Ed with 2 T's.
This is the Porter Way Podcast. This is Anthony Brunel, and this is Carson A. Merck. Tell them what to do.
Hey, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all social media platforms.
Subscribe.
I'm from Louisiana. I'll talk with a B. Let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's
All
do it.
right, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then tell them, and then you tell them what to do.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Porter Way
You're already.
Podcast.
You're already here.
Hey, this is our outro. We're gonna do it how we want to.
I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brendel.
Carson A. Merck. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.